All right, today we are going to be learning blocking in volleyball. So there are four steps that I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do today. And so we're just going to dive right into those four steps. So for the first step, this is your positioning. So I want everyone to line up right on this like purple line, just like this in front of the net. So with your positioning, there's two subparts to this first part. The first subpart is the location to the net. So with the location that you always want to make sure you're always like one step or 1 foot behind the net. So I want you guys to come a little bit closer. So this is where you're going to always want to be when blocking for the ball. So that's the first subpart, always 1 step behind the net. The second subpart to the first step is your body positioning. So I want everyone to get into an athletic stance. So an athletic stance is your legs are shoulder width apart, your knees are slightly bent, just like this. Then with this as well, this athletic stance, you want to make sure your arms are low, just like this, in order to block. A common mistake is people already will have their arms up, but instead you want to have those arms low, ready to swing back for later in the steps. So that is step one, your positioning and your body positioning with that athletic stance. All right, step two is focus in reading your opponent. So focuses is where you want to be able to track that ball at all times from the other side of where it's going in your opponent's court. And then reading the opponent is where you want to basically read your opponent's body language and their hand positioning. So with this, their hand positioning, this will actually help you to be able to make quick decisions, and it will help you understanding where that ball will go with the trajectory of it, so you'll know if you have to move a little bit more right or a little bit more left in order to block the ball correctly. So that's step two. Step three now is your jump. So now that we're in our athletic stance, our arms are low, we're ready to go and ready to jump. You want to, since we have those arms low like this, you want to be able to swing those arms back and use that momentum of your arms to be able to jump up high. So an easy way to think of this is to reach for the stars, that's what I like to call it. And so I just kind of want everyone to practice this. So you're going to swing your arms back and then jump really high as quick as you can. So I want everyone to do this a couple of times. Swing your arms back and jump high. Nice. 2 more times. Awesome. Really getting that momentum, that swing. Nice. All right. So yeah, the common mistake with this is that people will have their arms up here, and instead you will not be able to jump as high, where instead is if you had your arms down low, you could use that momentum to jump way higher in order to be able to block that ball correctly. So that is step three, is your jump. Now step four is our last step, and your last step is definitely really important. So this is your arm positioning and your hand positioning. So since we just got done with that jump and we've reached for the stars, you're going to want to make a flat surface with your hands, just like this. I want everyone to reach their hands up, making sure those arms and those hands are nice and firm and straight to make that flat board. Yep. A common mistake with this step is that people will bend their elbows, and if you bend your elbows, as you can see, there's a lot more space in between, and that ball will have a more chance to be able to just slip right through that open space. So instead you want to be able to have those straight elbows, which as you can see decreases that space as if you had elbows bent. So an easy way to kind of do this is if you flex your arms or your biceps, it will automatically make you want to straighten your elbows. And that will also help keep your arms nice and firm. So whenever you just try and like flex their arms. Yep. See, as you can see, it keeps those arms really nice and firm. Good job. All right, then the next part with this, the step four, is your hand positioning, so like your wrists. A common mistake is people will sometimes have their hands forward in order to push that ball over to the opponent's court, but that's actually a big safety hazard because since the ball is coming from a spike, it has a lot of force and momentum, it may actually end up jamming your fingers if you have them forward. So you want to make sure you have them just slightly tilted back, not too far, but just ever so slowly so that ball can easily deflect off of your hands. So those are the 4 steps. So again, step one is your positioning, maintaining that 1 step back and your good athletic stance. Step 2 is focusing and reading the opponent. Step 3 is your jump, reaching for the stars. And then step 4 is your flat board surface, so your arm and your wrist positioning. All right, so with this, I want to be able to practice these 4 skills and these 4 steps with you guys. So I'm going to do a quick drill. So I'm going to be throwing you a ball 3 different times in 3 different locations. And I want you guys are going to be standing on this side of the net, and I will be throwing the ball to you on this side, so one person can go first. And then when I throw that ball, I'm going to do it pretty forcefully. You're going to want to use those 4 steps that we just learned in order to properly block the ball. So, ready? Oh, a little too much. Use those arms to really jump up. Nice. Oh. Nice. All right, last one. Help a little more. Nice. Good job. All right, Brian. Use those arms to really swing. Nice. Nice. Jumping off both of our feet. Nice. Good job. All right, so those are the 4 steps in blocking. Woo.